Question 21 on page 472. The bottom of a picture on a wall is on the same level as the person's eye. The picture is 135 centimeters high, and the angle of elevation to the top of the picture is 23 degrees. How far is the person's eye from the bottom of the picture? So if I draw the triangle, what you can see is that we do have the angle, we do have the opposite side, and what they really want is how far the eye is to the bottom of the image. So that's the side that we want. This side to the 23 degrees is the adjacent. So I have an angle, I have opposite and adjacent. Which ratio am I going to use? Again, we're going to use tan. Tan 23 is opposite over adjacent. Opposite is going to be 135. And we do not know the adjacent. How do we find the adjacent? Recall from chapter 6, you can change the place for these two. Adjacent is going to be 135 divided by tan 23. On my calculator, I have to go, I'll find tan 23 first for you. So I go 23 and then the tan button. 0.4244. I'm going to do the division. 135 divided by 0.4244, and the answer is 318.09. That's centimeters, and that makes sense. So the person is almost about 3 meters apart away from that image. So that was question number 21. Another question I'd like us to solve is question number 23. A point near the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa is about 50 meters from a point at the base of the tower. This top point is also directed above the point on the ground 4.25. And they want to know, what is the angle does this make? So here's the image. That's what we have here. We do have, you always go ahead from the image that you have, you go ahead and you draw the triangle for us. That's the 90 degree. This is 4.25, and this is 50.5. This is question 23. We have this and this angle is missing. To solve this, we need to label the sides. So to this angle, what is this side? It's the adjacent. And what is this side? That's the hypotenuse. What ratio is actually adjacent and hypotenuse? That'll be cosine, right? So I know that cosine of, let's call that angle A, equals to 4.25 over 5.5. So how do I do that? I'm going to put 4.25 into my calculator, and I'm going to divide it by 5.5. I divide it into that. Whatever I have, that's cosine of A. So I know that cosine of A is 0.7727, right? But I need to find angle A. Going from cosine of an angle to the angle itself, we have to use the inverse function. So I'm going to go shift cosine for that. That's 39.40. So 39.40 degrees. That's the answer to question number 23 on page 473.